Hello everyone, welcome back to Fluent English. I'm Sunny and I'm happy you're here with me today. I want to talk about something vital, something that so many English learners tend to overlook, and something that could truly be the game changer for your journey. It's about the power of listening. It's the real, honest-to-goodness secret to speaking English fluently and with confidence. You see, when most of us decide to learn a new language, what's the first thing we do? We immediately start thinking about grammar rules, about complex verb conjugations, and about memorizing long lists of vocabulary. Of course, grammar books, vocabulary flashcards, and even exams have their place. They're certainly useful tools in the process, but they are not the core of language learning. They're not the foundation. The heart of language learning is listening. Listening is the natural pathway that always, without fail, leads to speaking. Take a moment to think back to when you were a baby. When you were a tiny little human, you didn't pick up a grammar textbook, did you? You didn't sit down and try to cram hundreds of new words into your memory. You didn't take tests, and you certainly didn't write any essays. Instead, you simply listened. You listened to your parents, to your family, to the sounds of your home, and to the world all around you. You listened every single day for months and months on end, long before you ever uttered a single word. And then, after that long period of listening, something almost magical happened. The words started to flow naturally, effortlessly, right out of your mouth. They came out without a struggle, without fear, and without you having to stop and think about a single grammar rule. This is the simple, beautiful, natural way that we learn any language. First, you do a lot of listening, and only then does the speaking follow. But somewhere along the way, as we grew up and became adults, we forgot this fundamental process. We now try to learn in the complete opposite way. We try to speak first before we've listened nearly enough. We open up those heavy grammar books and we force ourselves through endless written exercises. We try to force the language into our heads with rigid rules and tiresome drills. And let me tell you, that just isn't natural. It's not effective. It feels heavy and it feels slow. And honestly, it often just feels stressful and exhausting. This is exactly why so many adults feel stuck in their language learning. They know a bunch of grammar rules. They've learned a ton of English words. But when it's time to actually speak, nothing comes out. They feel so nervous. They hesitate. And they just can't seem to find the right words. The solution, my friends, is simple. We have to go back. We have to return to that natural order of learning. Listening has to become the absolute center of your daily practice. You should be listening more than you study grammar, and you should be listening more than you write. If you just give your brain enough listening input, the speaking part will naturally, inevitably follow. It won't feel forced at all. It will feel just as natural and effortless as it did when you were a child. Now maybe you're thinking, but Sunny, listening is so difficult. And you know what? You're right. At first it can feel incredibly difficult. Native speakers often talk really fast. They link their words together and they use slang, idioms, and expressions that you simply don't know yet. It can feel confusing, and at times it might even feel impossible. But this is completely normal, and it's truly nothing to worry about. When you're first starting, you don't need to understand everything. You don't need to mentally translate every single word into your own language, number. You just need to listen. You need to hear the sounds. You need to hear the rhythm. And you need to feel the music of the English language. Think about music for a second. When you listen to a favorite song, you don't mentally translate every single note in your mind, do you? You simply hear the sound and you allow yourself to feel it. That's it. Language is exactly the same way. When you listen, again and again, your brain starts to notice patterns on its own. It begins to recognize sounds. It begins to hear where one word starts and another word ends. It begins to understand the rhythm and the stress of the language. Slowly, individual words will start to become clearer. Slowly, entire sentences will become easier to understand. And slowly, the entire language will begin to feel more natural and comfortable to you. And this is why a technique called shadowing is so incredibly powerful. Shadowing is an amazing technique because it combines listening with speaking at the same time. You listen to a speaker and then immediately you repeat what you hear. You don't stop. You don't wait. You don't translate. You simply follow the sounds with your own voice. This is a technique I've talked about in previous episode, and I promise you, it's one of the very best way to make your speaking more natural and fluid. Let me quickly remind you how shadowing works, step by step. Step 1. Choose some simple audio. It shouldn't be too difficult for you. If it's too advanced, you'll feel lost and frustrated, and that's not what we want. The perfect audio is something where you understand around 70% of what's being said. That way, it's not too easy, but it's also not too hard. Step 2. Listen to it once without speaking. Just listen. Don't write anything down. Don't repeat. Just let yourself get the feeling, the flow, and the rhythm of the language. Step 3. Listen again. And this time, shadow. As you listen, copy the words immediately. Don't stop. Don't think. And please don't worry about making mistakes. Just simply follow the sound. Step 4. Repeat, repeat, and repeat many times. Repetition is the most important key to success in language learning. The first time you do it, it always feels strange. The second time, it'll already feel a little better. By the third or fourth time, it will begin to feel much easier. And after many repetitions, it will start to feel truly natural and almost automatic. If you can do this every single day, even for just 10 or 20 minutes, your English will completely transform. Your ear will become stronger, and your mouth will become faster. Your confidence will soar. You'll start to speak more quickly, more smoothly, and with much less hesitation. You just won't pause and stumble as much. So please don't wait for perfect grammar. Don't wait until you know every single word in the dictionary. Start listening and shadowing today. Make it a new daily habit. Listen while you walk, listen while you drive, and listen right before you go to sleep. Even just 10 or 20 minutes a day will make a huge difference. Remember, language learning isn't a race. It's not about speed. It's about building and sticking to good habits. And a small habit, repeated every single day, becomes incredibly powerful over time. Listening is that habit. Shadowing is that habit. Do it daily and it will change your English forever. Let me leave you with 3 simple messages. First, listen more. Make listening the heart of your study. Not grammar, not writing, just pure dedicated listening. Second, shadow often. Shadow with simple audio. Repeat it many, many times. And just don't worry about mistakes. And third, be patient. Give yourself the time you need. Trust the process. And believe in the incredible power of listening. Thank you so much for tuning in to Fluent English today. I'm Sunny, and I genuinely can't wait to see all of your amazing progress. Until next time, keep listening, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. Bye for now.